am I doing it right, which is incredibly common. And it is very common not to really feel a whole lot, especially at first. I'll tell you that for me as a Reiki practitioner, for a couple of years, a few years, I didn't feel anything, not only when I was sending Reiki, but also when I was receiving it. I really didn't feel anything. And now I can just look at a picture that's been sent Reiki and I can feel it. And so what that means is that for many Reiki practitioners, that sense of feeling it develops and unfolds along with their practice. And so when we don't really feel a lot, especially at first, definitely that idea of releasing judgment comes into play, because it is so very common for us not to feel anything. And, you know, we like feedback on how we're doing. We want to know how we're doing. You know, I mean, it's ingrained in us from the time that we are children with grades at school. You know, how are you doing in math? You get an A. How are you doing in English? You get a B. And so we know that's feedback, and we know like where, quote unquote, the bar is. And we know where we are falling in terms of that bar and those expectations. Reiki is a little different though, because, you know, when we don't feel the things that we think that we maybe should be feeling or expect to be feeling, we feel like we are falling below the bar. You know, we're looking for maybe to get a grade in Reiki of an A, and we can't feel anything. So we think we must be at like a D, or at best a C. But definitely Reiki doesn't work on grades. So what that means is that even if you're not feeling anything, Reiki is still doing its thing. As a matter of fact, we don't need to feel anything in order to be a quote unquote good Reiki practitioner, because Reiki is doing its own thing. And so the idea of releasing judgment, I believe, is really important in our own Reiki practice, because, you know, sometimes we're not getting any feedback, and we can take that to mean that we're not doing a good job, but it doesn't matter, you know, because Reiki is doing its thing, and we can't necessarily, quote unquote, do a good job or a not good job. We're just channeling the Reiki. And so if we can strive to take ourself out of it and to recognize that, you know, there's no A grade or B grade or D grade in Reiki, then we can really just allow ourselves to become immersed in the experience and be in the present moment, which in a sense is really what it's all about anyway. You know, bringing ourselves into that present moment in our practice. Reiki is really powerful for that. And so when you find those moments of asking yourself, am I doing it right? Am I doing something wrong? I don't feel anything. What am I messing up? To really strive to just send love and compassion to yourself and release judgment of yourself. Because truly Reiki is not judging you. Whether you feel anything or not, Reiki is doing its thing. And whether you feel anything or not, Reiki is flowing through you. And whether you feel anything or not, Reiki is not judging you. So we're definitely being encouraged to not judge ourselves. So remember that and honor yourself in that process when you find those moments of judgment coming up. Indeed, they will. So expect them. And when they arise, just recognize that they're part of the process, part of the experience, and to just send love and compassion to yourself in those moments and work to release the judgment of wanting to get an A grade in Reiki, and releasing the judgment of expecting to feel something, and releasing the judgment of not feeling it as well. So all of those things, definitely, please be kind and gentle to yourself with this process, and know that you may or may not feel anything, and all of that is okay.